Hi, this is Daniel DiTuro. If you like English muffins and baking homemade bread, you're just a few steps away from making delicious homemade English muffins. Unlike yeast breads that are baked in an oven, English muffins are cooked on your stovetop in a large skillet or griddle. This recipe makes 8 to 10 light fluffy muffins like the store-bought muffin shown on the left. To make English muffins, you'll need a large skillet or stovetop griddle and a 3 to 3.5 inch diameter food ring or cutter. The ingredients are 2 1/4 cups of bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour, but bread flour works best. 1/4 ounce of instant yeast, 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. You can omit the sugar if desired. About 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Adjust the amount of salt to taste. 1 tablespoon of soft or melted butter or shortening, 1 large egg, and 3/4 to 1 cup of 2% milk or low-fat buttermilk. You can substitute equivalent amount of water and buttermilk powder. You'll also need cornmeal or semolina for dusting, and vegetable oil or cooking spray to coat the bowl for the dough. In a stand mixer or large mixing bowl, add the flour, yeast, sugar, and salt. Add the softened or melted butter or shortening, the egg, whole or slightly beaten, and 3/4 cup of buttermilk or equivalent. Mix the ingredients by hand or using a stand mixer. If necessary, add milk 1 tablespoon at a time until the dough forms a soft ball. When using a stand mixer, you'll know you have the right combination of flour to wet ingredients when the dough leaves the side of the bowl and adheres slightly to the bottom of the bowl. Knead the dough about 8 minutes using a stand mixer on the speed recommended by the manufacturer, or about 10 minutes by hand. Your dough should look about like this and be slightly sticky when touched. Add a little oil to the mixing bowl and lightly coat the bowl and dough with oil. If you kneaded the dough by hand, lightly coat a bowl with oil and place your dough in the bowl. Cover your bowl with a lid or plastic wrap and let it proof in a warm place 60 to 90 minutes or until your dough has doubled in bulk. Dust a large baking sheet. I'm using a 12 by 18 baking sheet with semolina or cornmeal. Next, dust your work surface with semolina or cornmeal. Turn the dough onto your work surface and lightly flatten and shape it by hand. Next, use a rolling pin to roll the dough out to about 1/2 inch thick. If you don't own a rolling pin, you can flatten the dough by hand. The rolling pin will produce a smoother surface. Position your cutter on the dough and press down firmly, twisting as little as possible. Pull the dough away from the cutter, remove the cutter, and transfer your muffin to the prepared baking sheet. Repeat cutting as many muffins as possible from your dough. Work the leftover dough into a ball, and then use your rolling pin to roll it out and cut 1 or 2 more muffins from the dough. If you have enough dough left to form 1 more muffin, shape it by hand, and then use the food ring to shape the muffin into a round. It may look crude, but these are homemade muffins, not mass-produced muffins. Cover the baking sheet with your muffins with a second baking sheet or plastic wrap and let it proof in a warm place about 30 to 45 minutes or until double in size. Preheat your skillet or griddle on medium heat to about 350 degrees. Use a thin metal turner to transfer 3 to 4 muffins to your skillet or griddle. Cook the muffins 3 to 6 minutes or until browned. Use the turner and carefully turn the muffins over to cook the second side. Cook 3 to 5 minutes or until the second side is browned. Your muffins are fully cooked when the internal temperature measured at the center is at least 185 degrees. Do not overcook or your muffins will be dry, just like overbaked bread. Remove the first batch to a wire rack to cool, and then cook your second batch. If your muffins are browning before fully cooked, you can reduce the heat or finish the cooking in a 350-degree oven for about 5 to 7 minutes. One English muffin made with a 3.5-inch cutter has about 165 calories, 1 gram of saturated fat, 170 milligrams of sodium, and 5 grams of protein. If you have a question about this video, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and happy cooking!